bit of pain, then I can make sure you don't go through, or you, or a little girl somewhere. I just wanted to be that voice. I want to share my pain with you guys in an effort to keep you from causing someone yourself. And sometimes, I mean, of course, that's for, I like to say it like this. If you're old enough to twerk, because people are like 10, they're like, if you're twerking and listen to mainstream radio, you can read the book if you're 7.
Yeah.
Because you have to stop, we have to like take these seeds that are being planted in these little girls' heads right now and like take out the weeds, put some flowers in there.
Yes.
I was probably 8 or 9 years old, and I was at my cousin's house, and she found this book, and she was like, "Did you write this?" And I'm like, "Maybe," you know, because I felt like I was in trouble. And I go, yeah, I wrote that. And she's like, "Oh my God, like, look what Tara wrote. Like, people that are like 50 years old write like this, you know?" And so, and at that time, it was a poem about, you know, just some of the things that were going on in our family. And
do you mind me asking a little bit? About the
just pretty much religion, you know. And my family, one side of my family is super religious, which I love in so many ways, and in some ways it can be a little bit much, you know. When the walk isn't always, I don't even know how to, when the walk doesn't support the teachings. And so that's the kind of the thing that we were going through at the time, kind of like someone who's like preaching completely different sermon than the sermon that he was living, you know. And so so that was like, I was 8 or 9 years old at that time. And then over time I started to write, you know, just like love songs, because, you know, as a teenager, that's what, if you're a songwriter or a teenager, that's what you do.
Happy and sad, all of it?
Sad, all of it. All of it is sad. It's like, hey, he broke my heart, you know. And then
When's the first time you fell in love? First age?
I am a love bug, probably like 5, I don't know. No, like seriously, I was always like, oh my God, you know, that one little guy, and it was always the person that had a problem, you know? Like, it's the guy, you know, he's not really that mean, he's just like, he stole my orange juice is what my best friend said. He's the one that steals my orange juice? Yeah, but he's okay, you know. That was me. That was me. And then as I got older, I just like, often wrote about everyone else's life, you know, because my life was off limits. So that's why this is a big step for me too. One of the first songs that I wrote that went platinum was a song called Gangstaline. And it's like, this is for my homies. And that definitely wasn't my story, but I lived in East Oakland. So when I'm driving down the street and I see the 40s and I see the murals and the you know, just like the makeshift memorials in the corner, I went to the studio and I wrote a song about it. And so it's kind of like the art of storytelling. Like, I wanted to be a journalist, and this was my way to still be one, you know, without putting my mom in a poorhouse by, you know, going to college. That's what I thought. But that's like, in my book, I talk about that. That's like, no, if you do well, then you get money for school and it's okay, you know, but that's why I'm writing the book, so that girls can know stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing that, like, growing up, you always wanted to tell other people's stories, but then when it comes to your own story, you had this wall.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure.
And if you don't mind digging deeper, because I'm a journalist, so I have a lot of empathy for storytellers.
Yeah.
And, like, really probing into other people's lives.
Yeah.
But also having that sense of, like, a reflective mirror for ourselves.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to ask you, what was the reason at the time that you had the wall up?
Probably just because writing is, for me, it's always about truth. And I didn't want to tell my truth. You know, I just didn't want to. I'm just like, I'd rather write a song about someone else who's happy because I'm not happy, so I'm not going to write a song about me being happy and try to sell it that way. So I would literally look at a friend's life and go, oh, I'm going to write a song about that, you know? Yeah.
So the ones that you were being in the industry, you know, those songs were more happy comparatively to your personal songs.
Yeah, it's the songs that were like in my locked away in my diary for sure, and they may even been happy, but they weren't about me. Like I have one of my first early songs is a song by Destiny's Child called "Killing Time." It was on the Men in Black soundtrack, and it was also on their first album. And so it was pretty much that was maybe one of my first kind of peering into my life. It's like killing time, waiting on you. What should I do? I'll be sitting here waiting. You know, for my boyfriend who was like always doing time because he was an activist and went to jail almost every weekend for spray painting the police station or something. You know, and so and then you know whatever else he did on the side to make ends meet. And so that was my life. You know, then that was like one of the first songs that were about me. Yeah, that was really about my life.
I can tell that you're a very empathetic,
Yeah,
intuitive person.
for sure. Yeah.
And the fact that you love deep
Yes.
the men in your life,
Yes.
and you've seen them go through the activist movement that's so necessary and it's so going on in today's
Yeah.
society.
Yeah.
And that brokenness of it, of like your heart with him while he's trapped somewhere else and fighting a system that feels very overwhelming for the
Right.
man. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering, does that translate into any art form you've done?
Oh, for sure. I mean, especially the book.
And then on the other side of things, if you're 60, 50, 80, and you feel like your life is over, as long as you're on this earth and your feet are planted on this ground, you're still here. Make the best of it. So that's just pretty much my motivation of the book, and it was a hard. Some of it was hard to write. Some of it was funny. Some of it was easy. I had to stop myself at 100 things because there's really like a million things that we should know. So hopefully this is just the beginning. Maybe there'll be a sequel. But thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. I'm humbled.